You have to watch the video, everybody, because you got to see this hot mess we got going on here that you have very nicely organized. She brought toys, she brought gifts, she brought goodies. Doing a deep dive into sexual health, pleasure, performance, intimacy, but I think a unique spin for general well-being, maybe unlocking some other areas that for whatever reason have felt maybe oppressed or unsafe, but also high performance.
Yes.
And really carrying over your sexual health and intimacy and even eroticism into everyday life.
Yeah.
Outside of the bedroom, in the bedroom, the boardroom.
High performance people, super achievers, entrepreneurs, people who are growth mindset oriented, they're the people who know, oh, if it's not working for me, I could learn something and do a better job. And I want to fire on all 12 cylinders of my life. And so why wouldn't sex be a part of that? Hi, I'm Susan Bratton on Ever Forward Radio. I'm the intimacy expert to millions. And I had such a fun time talking to Chase about all kinds of things from aphrodisiacs and libido botanicals to vacuum erection devices and photobiomodulation to your vagina. We talked about hot sex, great communication, and sexual biohacking so you could extend your sex span to extend your health span. And finally, that sex and good sex is all a series of learned skills which you're ready for. I do really like to speak to high performance oriented audiences. And the reason that I do is that, frankly, most people give up their sexuality and they give it up because it doesn't satisfy them because they're kind of doing what they've seen modeled in the world. And that's not very satisfying for most people. It's what leads to the sexless marriage. But high performance people, super achievers, entrepreneurs, people who are growth mindset oriented, they're the people who know, oh, if it's not working for me, I could learn something and do a better job. And I want to fire on all 12 cylinders of my life. And so why wouldn't sex be a part of that? Yeah. And so what do I need to know? Tell me what I need to know. And that's my person. I actually have an avatar for them.
Yeah.
And I call them the sexual seeker. Someone who's like, I know there's more. Where? Tell me. What can I do? How can I have hotter sex?
Well, that's
How
my
can
audience.
I have more satisfaction?
We're seekers in general, so this is just another area.
That's why I was excited to come and talk to you today. And I brought all these goodies because there's a couple of things that I've been talking about recently that I think will appeal to you and to your fans and followers. And one is this notion that I call the fourth factor. And the fourth factor is that we spend a lot of time talking about how to live a healthy life and have lots of energy so that we can do the things we want to accomplish. We're accomplishment mindset. And so we know we need to have our Oura ring and get good sleep. We've got to have sleep hygiene. That's important.
Or Whoop.
Or Whoop. Yes, or Whoop, exactly. Or Apple Watch. You've got a little bit of everything. We know that we need to eat decent food. We need to fuel our bodies with lots of protein, quality vegetables, good fruits, all of that kind of stuff. We get that. We also understand that we need to exercise. So we're doing our HIIT and our functional work and our strength training. Like I am in the gym 3 to 5 days a week. I love to work it out.
Looking great. We probably deadlift the same. I'd be willing to bet.
I'm actually working on deadlifting my weight by my 64th birthday, which is in 2 weeks.
No way.
So
well, happy early birthday.
I weigh 160 pounds because I'm tall. I'm a tall woman. And you had to get me a bigger mic. So I weigh 160 pounds and I'm really trying to get my deadlift to that for my birthday, which is great. But I mean, the more muscle I pack on, the happier I am. That's what I'm constantly working on. I like a little fat and squish on my muscle. That makes me happy. I don't want to be one of those like super hard bodies. I want to be really hard under the squishy parts. That's kind of what I like.
I like that tagline.
Yes.
I want to be hard under the squishy parts. Who doesn't? Yeah.
They just feel so good. The squishy parts feel really good when they're laid on muscle, you know? But the fourth factor is sex. And it's sex because there are studies from all over the world that show that the longer that you're able to continue to have hot sex, orgasmic pleasure, the longer, healthier, and happier your life is. You live 10 years longer and it's healthier
10
and
years.
It's happier. Right. It could be 2 to 3. It could be 1 to 2. It depends on how
We're seeing up to.
It depends on how it's measured, what the study is. But it adds healthy length to your years. So it's the fourth factor that a lot of people are still kind of shy to talk about. So thank you for being intrepid and having me here today.
My pleasure. No pun intended. But I got to say, just if you couldn't already tell, a big way that I bring guests on the show, a big kind of like filtration process, beyond, the podcast is my thing. So I got to make sure I'm doing stuff that works, right?
Yep.
But also, whatever I am curious about in my life and whatever I see working in that general, total, all-encompassing well-being, high-performance life.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not out there PRing every day. I'm not trying to, have a merger and acquisition every day. So I'm not like the ultimate in all areas of life, but I find ways to optimize for my own why, my own purpose, and what moves the needle for me in as many areas of my life as possible.
Yeah.
And sexual health absolutely is one. Someone who's gone through dry spells in relationships, out of relationships, has had one-night stands, has had deep, meaningful, intimate sexual relationships, short-term, long-term, all the above. If you go back to where you were in life, like the happiest in as many areas of life as possible, I'd be willing to bet that your sex life was a part of that. And to your point, I think that's an area where a lot of us discredit. We are too easy to let go of it because, I have all these other areas. I'm so happy in every other aspect of my relationship, but don't deny pleasure.
Right.
Also, from like the health perspective, we know orgasming is healthy. We know intimate connection is amazing for dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, things that enhance your life and the life of a partner, should you have one. So it all makes sense. That's why we're here.
Yes. So I brought you some things to show you today. Why don't I tell you kind of like the big picture overview of things I have, and you decide where you'd like to dive in. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Because let me tell you one thing, and that is that I'm a publisher of passionate lovemaking techniques. I've published 44 books and programs on how to transform having sex into making love. My brand or style of education as a sex educator is passionate, heart-connected, conscious lovemaking. That's what I like. So I'm not here to talk too much about kink or BDSM or Tantra or some of these other flavors that, frankly, I kind of find performative. So for me, and this is just because it's what I like and what I like to explore, and essentially what I do is I write the cookbook, the recipe for how to have 20 different kinds of orgasms that your body can have, how to have really sexy bedroom talk, how to know what you want and ask for it, how to have really good oral, really good kissing, really good intercourse, massively orgasmic experiences together where you feel very comfortable with each other, really turned on by each other, and the sex gets hotter and hotter the longer you're together. Because good sex is all a series of learned skills. Anyone can learn them, which is why I love the super achiever sexual seekers. And so what I do is I teach people how to do all this stuff, like techniques. But what I've found is that the techniques and the communication skills are a part of it, but the accoutrement for your sexual health is also a big part of it. So whether it's tell me about aphrodisiacs, tell me about nitric oxide boosters for blood flow, tell me about topical vaginal estrogen, tell me about red light therapy, photobiomodulation for your vaginal canal to keep it really in great shape. Tell me about how I can quantify, this is the whoop for your yoni. Tell me how I can quantify my orgasms with this lioness vibrator and see
for your hoo-ha.
Exactly. See if I have oceanic, volcanic, or what was the third one? Avalanche orgasms today, and how long they were and how intense they were. Or tell me about yoni massage. How do we get out of this sexless marriage rut? Why won't my wife have as much intercourse as I want to? What could I do to get her turned on again to want me for sex? We could talk about that.
Well, that's the first step right there. Asking yourself, what can I do?
What can I do?
Yeah. I think that's a slippery slope when we put what we're not getting in our relationship on the other person all the time.
Yeah, right, exactly. I also brought, tell me about how come lubes are now like ultra-processed food and what I could use instead of all the crap at Target, Kmart, Walmart, et cetera, that all has preservatives in it. I wouldn't eat it. Why would I put it in my hoo-ha? Tell me about how I can have orgasmic intercourse with a next, like literally beyond category new sex toy, because I'm really into sex tech and I've got something for couples that's very hot and interesting. I could talk to you about at-home STI testing kits and hormone panels.
At home? Really?
You can. I'd love to show you how the collection kit works. You keep it at home like you kept your COVID kits. Yeah. And then if you're like, oh, maybe we should have a threesome with that person. Okay, well, let's all test in so we know we're good.
Wow.
And then we can have hot sex together. We mail it in and we get it back with it. And this is the hormone kit. I brought you the hormone kit, and I brought you, if you want it, if you need it, you might not right now in your life. I brought the Pro DX Health full panel 10 different STI testing kit, which is very interesting because I could go down such a rat hole about urethral and vaginal microbiomes and how to keep them so that you actually fend off STIs in addition to how to test for them. Very interesting new work I'm studying. I'm very geeky. I do want to tell you, because I brought you a vacuum erection device to keep atrophy at bay as you age. Yeah, how old are you now?
I'll be 40 in 3 months.
This is the time to start pumping, and I want to tell you about it because for men's sexual health, it's incredible. I also have some red light for your penis. I've got some interesting information about genital anatomy that I could share with you. So I really brought you a lot of things, and you can decide how you'd like to direct me. We could talk about hot sex. We could talk about bedroom communication. We can talk about sexual wellness. I'm here for you for the time we have together.
This is amazing and a pleasant surprise. I want to get into a few of these, absolutely. But I do have kind of on the premise of really biohacking meets bedroom here.
Yeah,
I have a couple questions I want to jump into to make sure we kind of get into the science, the clinical, the anecdotal, and just your expert experience here.
Great.
So I've heard you talk about that. You've said that. Oh, I can't talk. There we go. Am I reading my notes? There we go. All right, I'll scratch that part. You've said that great sex isn't just pleasurable, it's in fact powerful. So how does sexual vitality tie into cognitive sharpness, confidence, and even ambition?
Yeah. Well, you know how you feel when you know you're giving your woman incredible orgasms. Don't you feel like so proud of yourself? Don't you think that she just being wanted in that way, she wants you and she loves you. And when she wants you to give her pleasure, you feel so good about yourself. That's how she feels as well. Her body image issues start to fade. She's happier. She's more calm. She's just a woman, right? And that's a nice kind of woman. That's a woman who loves her sexuality, and it makes her feel more confident about herself. It grounds her, and she's getting something not everybody's getting, and that makes her feel good about it, right? She's getting that incredible satisfaction of really good sex with you. And so when you have really incredibly orgasmic, pleasurable sex, you get the benefits. You even mentioned some of them, the neurotransmitter and hormone cascades, the oxygenation of your brain for increased cognitive function, higher and better immune response. It releases natural killer cells for autophagy and cleaning up damaged and broken and senescent cells. I mean, there's literally a laundry list. I could do a whole show on the laundry list of orgasmic pleasuring and creative orgasmic sex. Not just intercourse where she maybe has one little orgasm, but where she's coming the whole time.
I like that you threw in creative in there.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a descriptor word many people would think of. That's very important.
Yes.
Yeah, and can really move the needle.
Well, one of the things that I've brought, and this kind of works in the category of sexless marriage. We're not having the sex we want. We're bored. The monotony of monogamy, as well as the creativity. How can we be like, you can be with someone and you're having really hot sex and you're like, God, it just keeps getting better. We keep doing new things together. We're constantly trying new stuff. That's the kind of sex life that I have.
You don't reach the end?
You never reach the end. It's asymptotic. There's no upper limit. You can't reach the end of sex getting better. At 64, I'm having the best orgasms of my life. I'm having the best sex of my life. I'm comfortable with myself. I'm creative. I come up with good ideas, constantly coming up with good ideas. And so one of the things that I've put together is something called my Sex Life Bucket List. And this is at sexlifebucketlist.com for those of you who are like, wait a minute, where do I find this?
Check the show notes, family. I always take care of you. Video description and show notes. We got you.
Thank you for that. The Sex Life Bucket List has 48 erotic play dates. You get this little printout. It's free. You get this this little printout and you can mark each of the erotic playdates with an A, a B, or a C. A is, oh, I definitely want to do this. This has been on my bucket list for a long time. I just want to get this. I want to have this experience. B's are, it's not for me, but if you want to do it, I'm down to do this with you. Like if that turns you on, hell yeah. I'm a hell yeah.
Wasn't my idea, but I'll go there with you.
Totally. Because we like different things. And C's are, it's not for me right now. Let's put that in the parking lot because we may return back to it. And what I find with couples is that once they start with the things that they're comfortable with, and then they start with the things the other person wants to try, then they get to, oh shit, yeah, now I'm ready to do that thing. That sounds fun. Yes, I do want you to practice spanking my behind. I used to think that was weird. And now I'm like, oh, I think it's hot. I like it.
It's
right?
like, at our core, we're a health and fitness show. And so I always just go to fitness analogies. I'm sure right now you said you were going for a deadlift kind of PR.
I am.
You probably, I'm assuming, didn't start working out going straight to the deadlift.
No.
But, you got the ball rolling. Yes. You built the confidence. You built the reps quite literally. Yes. And now here you are moving into a very technical, very strenuous movement. I mean, the deadlift is like the chef's kiss of any movement.
I had to work on keeping my knees out. They tend to fall in. I had to strengthen my girdle. I had to strengthen my lower back.
Core
I had to
strength,
do a lot of work.
Yeah.
I had to do a lot of just like working the bar with things like rows and stuff, just to get used to holding the balance of the bar and all those things.
So the person listening, maybe this is stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit, but just think about it. Odds are you started whatever health goal you had thinking one thing, and now 3 months, 6 months, a year later, you're probably doing different things that you never thought you would get to. So kind of copy and paste the same mindset here at least. Yeah.
You know what I found? Anyone listening to this show is down to hear everything we have to say. The people who have given up on their sexuality are the people who didn't even tune into this episode. So you don't even need to worry about that. Those people watching and listening to us right now, they're like, let's fucking go, man, right? Like they're here for it. So let's give it to them.
Amen. I love it.
Don't worry.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is, I think, a great starter, would you say?
Yeah, because people get bored.
You got to get thinking about things differently.
Yeah. And because there's 48 erotic playdates that I walk you through with a video, and you're like, damn, like I'd heard of some of that stuff, but I didn't even know about those things. And they're so interesting. And what I can tell you is that when you're playing together, when you're learning new things, you're trying something new, the first time you do it, it's going to be weird or, like you're not going to be perfect. It's not going to have the exact result. The second time you do it, you're like, okay, now I'm getting my hands around this thing. And the third time you do it, you're like, oh yeah, now that's what I was thinking it was going to be like. So when you practice and you begin as a beginner together in your relationship, it keeps the novelty and variety, keep it spicy and hot. Because mostly why they get bored and they stop having sex, it's monotonous. It's great for guys because they can get off easily every time. But if your woman is not like scheduling sex dates with you, start working your bucket list with her. Find out what she'd like to try and do it with her.
Should spicy and hot always be the goal here in order to avoid the monotony that some people might find themselves in? Or, can we start maybe medium spicy or mild?
You can start wherever you want. It's impossible for me not to be hot and spicy anymore because I've had so much good sex and I've tried so many things.
I can tell, yeah.
So yeah, you don't have to be hot and spicy when you start if you're not ready for that. But in due time, my dear, you will be hot and spicy again.
So I know a lot of your work also is with couples.
Yes.
And so you might be helping someone individually, but helping couples I think is even more beautiful thing. So I'm curious.
Somebody to play with.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. People, don't lose sight of play. Like keep playing your life. Yes. How does a strong erotic connection in your experience, how have you seen this correlate with success in other areas of life, specifically looking at the relationship, the two-person unit?
I think that when people are intimately connected, shit's going to go south in your relationships. It just does. Everything is a wave. It gets good, it gets bad, it gets good, it gets bad, it gets good, it gets bad. But when you have that erotic connection, when you love to be held and hold each other, when you snuggle at night, when you're sending each other those little bears that kiss under the blankets on Instagram to each other, you can weather all the bullshit that life is going to throw at you. It's like resilience training. Intimacy is resilience training because intimacy requires vulnerability. You have to bring your heart. You have to bring your desire. You have to bring your wants. You have to be honest with each other. And if you can be honest in the bedroom, you're going to be honest outside the bedroom. It's impossible when you get to that level of bedroom communication that it takes to get really good together in bed. You can't do that quietly. You can't do that without moaning. You can't do that without talking about it. You can't do that without sharing your favorite frames later and being like, you want to know what was the hottest thing we did last night? Yes, I do. Well, it was and then, you're just, God, it just brings you so close. And when you have that, you've got a solid foundation to take on the rest of the world, because the world is going to throw shit at you for sure. But when you're stable like that, you can handle it.
I think people might be more inclined to get there, the hot and the spicy, like we're talking about, when you're in it, when you're having foreplay, having sex, when you're like when the moment is hot and heavy. Yeah. But I'm hearing you talk about the before and the after. Yeah. So if we are more comfortable and we know that we can get there, or just by recollecting, like, oh yeah, we have this kind of talk, or I have this kind of feeling during the moment. Yeah. Walk us through the before and the after. How do we get there, or even close to there? And why is it as important as the hot and the spicy during?
Yes. So the first thing is that, especially for women, so I'm going to generalize here that most people are in a male-female pair bond. Right? It's typically
for
that.
This conversation's sake.
For this conversation's sake, I support people across the gender spectrum. I support every expression of humanity and pleasure. So that's not it. But I like to do the dude and his lady, because that's what most people are. And essentially, in your penis, and we're going to be talking about your penis a lot today.
Sorry, Mom. She's literally across the hall.
It's okay. Your mom likes your penis too. She helped you make it. It's fine. Don't worry. She knows about it. She wiped your butt and changed your diapers. So
you're not wrong. As a dad now, I totally understand this.
Exactly. Right. So you love every part of your children. So what is very important to know that most people don't know, and it's starting to dawn on people, enough experts are talking about it now, is that in your penis, you have these 3 spongy tissue chambers. They look like this. So
you guys got to check the video out. She's got great diagrams here.
This is half of your penis sticks out of your body. Half of it goes in and down towards your testicles. And it's full of spongy tissue. That spongy tissue is corpus cavernosums, 2 of them, and a corpus spongiosum, 1 of them. And they're these like tubes of tissue. And when you start to get turned on, blood runs down your penis and it expands and it locks off the smooth muscle tissue. And that's how you get erect. That's how it holds it in. The vulva, let me show you the top of the vulva. This is like all the little parts that go to the vulva. Here's the mons, the outer labia, the inner labia, the clitoral shaft and glands. This is our little penis right here. The opening is called the vestibule. Inside there is the urethral exit and the vaginal opening. If I peel that away, this is the 3 spongy tissue chambers of the vulvovaginal system, the female genital system.
It's so clearly separated.
It's so interesting, right? I have these illustrated so people can see what it looks like. So there's the clitoral glands, the tip, the shaft, which gets a little lady boner when it gets turned on. Here's the arms, here's the legs, here's the urethral sponge, and the perineal sponge down here. So the vaginal cavern is completely surrounded by the same erectile tissue in your penis. It surrounds the vaginal cavern. And here's the but, and this is the thing about like, what are you doing before, during, and after? The before requires, for women, we are estrogen dominant. You're testosterone dominant. You have fast-acting hemodynamics. Your dick gets hard really fast when you're healthy. Ours, we can't make it get hard fast because it's like an English muffin. It's like a bunch of nooks and crannies. We don't have 3 straight tubes. We've got all these little arms and legs and bumps and blah, 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 and all these little things. And so for us, 2 things. 1, when we're estrogen dominant, in the world of Homo sapien, the female is prey and the male is predator, unfortunately. And that can, be a problem for us. But what the female loves is the safety and security of your protection of us, right? And so It takes us a long time when we're walking around in the world and we have to keep our mind on everything. You know how women are such good multitaskers? It's because we have a highly developed reticular activation system to keep us from danger because we don't walk safely in the world. And so because of that, when we hit the bed, we're still going a million miles an hour. We need you to get us out of our head and into our body. We need you to get those big biceps wrapped around us, squeeze the worry out, kiss us, tell us what you love about us, why you adore us, how beautiful we are to you. We need to get anything we need off our chest. We need to get back into our body, which is why one of the things I bring are libido botanicals, because they help you get out of your head and into your body so your sex is hotter. Because the more you're out, the more you're out here thinking, the less you're feeling sensation and connection.
Of course.
Right?
Of course, yeah.
So it takes us about 20 minutes to get all that blood flow to our little tissue chambers. So we need like 20 minutes of kissing, holding, endearing words to know we're safe and you love us and you find us attractive and sexy. And then we need kissing, breast pleasuring, and yoni massage. And by yoni, I like this word yoni for...
Yeah, what's yoni? That's new for me.
It's a tantric lovemaking word, Y-O-N-I. And I think it's a really pretty word because it's like all the parts of the vulvo-vaginal system, which is all like medical anatomical words. And so it's not very sexy. And so it's all of it and the spiritual experience of the love and the pleasure, right? So
Is this Chinese medicine?
Tantric love,
Tantric.
tantra. Yeah. And so yoni, Y-O-N-I, is the word for all my beautiful lady parts.
Oh, wow.
Lingam is the word for your testicles, your prostate, and your penis.
So yoni is female, lingam is male. Okay.
L-A-N-G-A-M, lingam. And I love that word. And so it takes me a while. I need you to help me get turned on. All women do. Women think there's something wrong with them. But honestly, mostly what's happened is that everything you see in the movies and porn is just through the male timing, the fast male timing. She's ready to go. So women think, oh, my libido's low. Oh, I don't have any desire. Well, girl, there's nothing wrong with you. Literally, we just need our man to do, or our partner to do some heavy lifting to get us going so we get that blood flow, so we get our lady boner, so everything feels good.
Okay, so this immediately makes me think of, let's say, you're meeting someone for the first time. It's going to be a one-night stand, whatever. Or it's just a very impromptu sexual encounter. I don't feel like women are having that same 20-minute warm-up period to kind of like get in the mood to hop into bed or wherever, versus like maybe after in a relationship, I'm hearing is 20 minutes kind of like the necessary foreplay, if that's what you want to call it, time. So what's the difference between, is it just scenario-based? Is it the hype and excitement of a new partner or a new environment, or just spontaneity versus like familiarity and comfort, that time is more or less?
That's a big part of it. Most women don't know that it's going to take 20 minutes for them to achieve that full or engorged experience. And they've literally never had that in their whole life because they're not aware of what I just told you. And so they're just used to rushing sex, and the bar of the level of quality of sex that they're having is very low. They're not having the sex I'm having. If you are patient and you get all plumped up, because I know you've heard that your biggest sex organ is your...
Shout out Tammy, I just learned that earlier. Yes.
Tammy!
Yeah, she dropped that one on me. Yeah, your reputation precedes you.
Oh, good. So your biggest sex organ is your brain. Most people think it's like for dirty talk or the words of endearment or what have you, but it's actually that your brain, there's a sensory complex up here. And when let's just say you touch my breasts, that's going to light up a different part of my brain than if you kiss me, or then if you give me a yoni massage, or then if you penetrate me. You light up different parts of your brain. When the tissue is flaccid, it's small. Think about your penis. When it's flaccid, are you going to feel as much pleasure? No. When it's erect and bursting at the seams and nice and veiny and full of blood flow and hard as a rock, it feels incredible because you have more surface area sending more signals to your biggest sex organ.
So it's kind of unfair. The guys, we have a very physical representation of like where we're at.
Yeah.
physically and mentally.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. So slowing down. And a lot women have said to me, well, but I like it fast. And I'm like, you'll like it slower, better. Trust me. Slow down, allow your body to really get turned on. And your sex life, your orgasms, the intensity of I teach a lot about orgasm and how you have the different kinds of orgasms. And there are single orgasms, which is where most women are. Like they have one and they're done. As they drive themselves too hard, too fast, and they can't have multiples. Some women, they've learned how to have multiple orgasms, so they're having multiples. Some women are now learning how to have extended orgasms. Take that moment of climax and just like pull it out like time is tapping.
Like the ending of the climax gets longer and longer?
Lengthened. And then expanded orgasms takes it to the next level, and that is I'm having more orgasms, they're getting better, they're getting longer, they're getting more intense, and I'm coming and coming and coming for an hour with the most incredible orgasmic pleasure because I have given my body time to get there and slowly turned her on. Sex just gets so much hotter when you slow the fuck down.
So we've been kind of hinting at it, and you've kind of picked at a couple things here.
Yeah.
When you get into kind of the area of like, quote, sexual biohacking.
Yes, great.
So how can optimizing pleasure and function through supplements, through regenerative therapies, or even toys become a high leverage strategy for not only outstanding, phenomenal sex, but peak living?
Yes. The more your parts work well, the better the sex is. The harder and firmer you are, the better you're able to feel pleasure and give pleasure. The more she's engorged and in her body and connected to her sensation and your hearts are connected, the more pleasure you have. So everything from, I brought you a couple of things.
Yeah, walk us through the supplements first.
Okay, good.
What's in here, and is it a ingredient thing? Is it a protocol thing? Is it a timing thing? What's going on in the supplement space?
So the very first thing, like if ground zero, the very first thing that you want to do is take a nitric oxide booster. This is Flow. I make this because I like food-derived supplementation instead of lab synthesized supplementation whenever I can manufacture it. Yeah, please do. It's spinach, watermelon rind. It's all organic. Spinach, watermelon rind, acerola cherries, and a little bit of pine powder.
Citrulline, it's good too.
Citrulline is better for people over 40. Your nitric oxide pathways work better with that. So topping this up instead of depending on Viagra. But remembering that as a woman, we have the same amount of erectile tissue. So we are also having erectile dysfunction. It's just inside. It's where our labia atrophies, our clitoris atrophies, our vaginal skin, the vaginal mucosal lining atrophies. And so getting blood flow to the pelvic bowl is super important, and your vascular system needs nitric oxide to squeeze the blood down to your pelvic bowl to create the pleasure. So nitric oxide's ground zero. The second thing that I think everybody should be on, and it's very important, is vitamin mineral complex, because even things as simple as the trace mineral of boron or zinc or magnesium.
Huge for guys with testosterone.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and for women with testosterone. Like I take exogenous testosterone myself, and I love topping up my testosterone. It's fantastic. And what I did was I made a daily multivitamin, multimineral complex with Libido botanicals already in it. So it's like you're one a day with a little something more. Like don't take a Libido botanical if you're not even taking a multivitamin. If you're not getting your boron and your magnesium and your vitamin D and your methylfolate.
Don't optimize if you're not doing foundational things first.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So this is a 90-day regimen for your supplements because each one has a different Libido botanical. And these are the Libido botanicals that have the most clinical data in addition to indigenous wisdom. Tribulus terrestris, Tongkat Ali, and fenugreek are the three that help male and female bodies have more pleasurable sex. And then the other one is maca, and the other one is cacao. Cacao is dark chocolate. They're the 5 most well-studied with clinical data in human trials for Libido botanicals. And I like plants. I like natural ingredients. The second thing that I always recommend is, and I brought these for you if you'd like to have them, is cannabis.
Really?
Cannabis gets you out of your head and into your body, and it makes you feel more pleasure. I work with this company. This is my lusty bundle.
It's vaprodisiac.
Vaprodisiac. And it doesn't have the butane and all the yucky stuff in it. It's just cannabis and the terpenes from the cannabis plant that give it the flavor. It's not artificial flavors. It's natural flavors from...
The terpenes are where it's at. That's all the flavonoids,
yes,
polyphenols,
yes,
all the everything. That's really where the like health benefits are.
I love this. And this will get you high right away. So you can just be like, do you want to have sex? I do.
But
okay,
isn't that kind of counter?
go.
I think most people think if I'm getting high from using cannabis, it's like you're chilling. It's like you're going to be lethargic, not as motivated. You're saying the opposite?
There's a difference in different kinds of cannabis. Some of it is more active, bodily active, like sativa oriented strains. Versus indica strains. So this is not going to give you couch lock. This is going to give you coochie lock. There you go. Coochie lock. I like it. And then you can layer them. So my Lusty Bundle I love because this is Sex Bites. Now, if I give these to you, promise me you won't take more than a quarter of a gummy the first time you try it. These are also psychoactive. They take about an hour to come on, and they have Libido botanicals and cannabis in them.
I'll take a look at these.
They're his and hers. You will love them. There's everything from horny goat weed to cordyceps in here. It's all natural, and they're very good. So these are Libido blends. But for those times when you're like, well, I want to have hot sex, but I can't get high because I got to go do a podcast. Then...
I've had a couple podcasts under the influence of things before, so it wouldn't be my first time. Yeah.
These are Vitality and Stamina gummies. They're non-psychoactive, but they have all the Libido botanicals. These are for your weekend hot sex vacation, where the kids are gone and you're just going to have
Date
sex
night
all
kind of
over
stuff,
the hotel room all weekend kind of thing. These are long-acting capsules. These are faster-acting gummies. These are like, all right, we've got like 2 hours. Right. So I'm going to take this at dinner. We're going home. We're having sex, and this will be ready to roll. And it basically helps her get a clit boner, you get a dick boner, and you feel good in your body. And you're like,
now, is there ever any concern about like maybe becoming reliant on things like this? No, I mean, not in like a biochemical way, but just thinking like, oh, I can only have hot sex if I take something leading up to it.
Let's talk about vibrators, because it's the same thing people would say about a vibrator. Oh, I'm gonna have to rely on it, and now I'm not gonna be able to have regular orgasms because I used it. It's like, no. You can still have all your regular stuff. Not only that, but doing these things, whether it's masturbating and calculating your orgasmic intensity, or you having a yoni massage, or any of these things, what it's doing is it's teaching your body the neural pathways to that pleasure. So whether you use them during lovemaking or not, you've been there, you've traveled there. Now you know how to get there.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah. How do you think, I want to go back to communication again.
Great.
So I think it's huge in the bedroom with a partner, with yourself, more importantly. But then also bringing that optimization mindset into the rest of your life. How does mastering bedroom communication translate to being a better communicator in leadership or even high stress environments?
Because communicating in the bedroom is the most stressful communication there possibly is, because we've come from such a repressed and shame-based culture. If you can be the guy that I can tell anything to when we're making love, and I know you're not going to be reactive about it, and you're not going to take it like you fucked up, you didn't mess up at all. You were just like, oh, okay, my baby wants something different right now. It's not about me. It's just about where she is, her sleep, her energy, her nutrition, her turn on, where she is in her cycle, even after menopause, right? And so when I can say anything to you, and you're just like, got it, baby, how about this? Yeah, thank you. How's it now, right? All of a sudden, you're the guy I want to tell everything to. You're the guy I want to be in the bedroom with, because you're not egoically connected to some idea of perfection that has nothing to do with where my body is. So when you're just when your partner feels confident to speak up, when you've allowed her voice, you've encouraged her voice, when these lips can speak for those lips, they're down there all the time like, right? And so when you're like, baby, what do they say? What's she saying down there? Tell me what she wants. Is she a kitty cat today, or is she a tigress? Where are we? Do you need a yoni massage? Do you need to be held? Are you ready to just like, what do you want? You want me to go right down on you? How are you?
I love everything you just said.
Solid.
Is communication based.
Yeah.
Not once did you say dirty talk. I think this also, I want to really kind of like break some misconceptions here around what it takes to have a sex life, to have a better sex life. It doesn't have to be dirty talk, if I'm hearing you correctly. It just has to be clear communication. You can communicate in the bedroom and it doesn't have to be like, oh, well, I'm not comfortable with that or I don't know how to do it. So kind of maybe just dissect a little bit more about being a better communicator versus having to step into a dirty talk role.
Okay, good. So what I just explained to you about being the guy that can handle anything that happens in the bedroom and how hot that is, that and being the woman who feels comfortable expressing her needs, then that creates your ability to express your needs too. And we begin to hear what's sexy to you and what you want and what you need in every moment. So now you've got this free flow of communication. That's called my Sexual Soulmate Pact. And it's at sexualsoulmatepact.com. And it is the foundation. As our mutual friend, Em Moores, who I'm having lunch with after this, she says, communication is lubrication, right? And I just think that's the perfect phrase. So the Sexual Soulmate Pact, like, don't learn any sex techniques until you learn this, the Sexual Soulmate Pact. Because you can do all the techniques in the world, and guys love techniques. I'm going to learn 300 pussy eating techniques. Like guys love all of that.
It's always gamification with us for some reason.
And I love that you want to. And I'm a willing practice partner. That's all great.
Go for it, right?
But but not till you know how to communicate in the bedroom. But then when you have that, now this is where your sexy talk comes in. And I like to think about it like sexual talk, pillow talk, words of appreciation, adoration. You want to know you're doing a good job. You want to be respected for the work you do in that bedroom. And so as women, we need to let you know when you're doing a great job and that you're really incredible and you're pleasuring the heck out of us. We want that. But then we also want you to maybe give us a yoni massage and tell us a fantasy of something you'd like to try and just tell us what's on your mind about it. Or maybe you want to share favorite frames after lovemaking. Hey, did you know what was the hottest thing about this morning? It was the way the sunlight was streaming in the room, and I could feel your hands holding my hips, and I could tell that moment when you were about sliding into your orgasm, and you just like clamped down on me, and it was so rough and hot. Not rough in a bad way, not rough, but just like you were just like holding on, and I just surrendered to that, and it felt so good. And you're like, oh, wow, that was your favorite part? And I'm like, yeah, that was my favorite part today. So it's sharing what worked after the fact is as important as the making sure your partner will say anything, can say anything to you, is as important as the encouragement, the respect, the winning, the adoration, the beauty. One of the techniques I teach is called saying what you see. You look beautiful today. Your yoni is full and rich, and it's a little dark, and I can tell you're already turned on, and it's so hot, and you look so beautiful, and you're making my mouth water.
So we're really at this point just kind of, for lack of a better term here, stating the obvious.
Yeah, saying what you see.
So if we can describe, we don't have to really, again, step into, I'm not this creative, not this dirty talk person, but just like start with just literally what you see. Say what you see. What you feel. Say what you see. Say what you see, okay.
Physical. The corporeal. Yes, not time for processing emotion. It's for saying your boobs look beautiful. Oh God, they're so plump. I guess all that playing we did when we were making out really plumped them up and they look so juicy. I can't wait to get them back in my mouth.
So are you saying one of the keys to great sex is detaching emotion and just going with kind of more that visual primal state?
No, just stay in your bodies.
Okay.
Stay in your bodies. Stay in your heart and stay in your body.
I like that.
Yeah, right. You can talk about your emotions later.
That's more the after part you're talking about.
It could be that you have a deep emotional connection and you're staring each other in the eyes and you're making out deeply and you're jamming your tongues down each other's throats and you're like, so good, baby. I love you so much. I love having sex with you so much. I'm so happy you're my lover. That's all on the table. It's not that you can't talk emotion. I'm not making that point. What I'm saying is that for people who are a little shy about speaking in the bedroom, just saying what you see. Your boobs look great. Your ass looks great. The light is beautiful on your skin. Whatever. You feel so good. Bring it to that.
Okay. That sounds very doable.
I think it's
very
doable.
Great.
Yeah.
Very actionable starting points.
Good.
What's maybe a mindset shift about sex and success that you wish every ambitious person understood earlier in life?
That sex is a series of learned skills. You get better at it as you go. It takes a lifetime of mastery. The reason I'm so unbelievably fun to have sex with is because I've been working on it for decades and learning things. And you can be too. So it's really just the mindset is, oh, I'm going to have great sex till the day I die and I'm going to keep getting better at it. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So it's not just like what I have, it's what I could have. Let's go.
Where did all this start for you? Were you just always this just passionate orgasmonaut, person, or was this just like a learned trait, like you picking up fitness and getting into the deadlift, kind of this gradual progression?
The latter. I was married for about 12 years to my husband. I was avoiding him for sex. I was giving him mercy sex. I felt so bad about it. He was so miserable. And we were like, we thought it was me because I hadn't had an orgasm for the 12 years I was married to him.
You didn't have an orgasm for 12 years?
No, not from intercourse. Only from self-pleasuring with my vibrator. And we thought it was me, that I just couldn't do it. And he still wanted to have intercourse. And so I was doing it, but it was no fun for me. And so we realized that we did a lot of sex workshops. And almost instantly, I started having orgasms from intercourse. It just changed everything. And then I was like, I want to find my G-spot. I want to experience female ejaculation. I want to try anal. I want to have a boobgasm. I want to try throatgasms. I want to try all these things. Once I realized, oh, you just have to learn how to do it, I started learning how to do it. And I think that I really can empathize with people, and I feel sad that people think there's something wrong with them because they haven't learned how yet, when it's just all learned skills. But here's the thing. Thank you for having me on your show, because I am blacklisted, censored, shadow banned. I can't advertise my passionate lovemaking programs. And the only safe space for me to come and share my gifts and my joy is podcasts.
It's a safe space.
Yes, it is. And are you doing a lovely job making me feel like really safe to express. And so people don't have access to the information. Censorship is ruining people's lives and making them have a less good life and end it and die sooner with less health because sex is the fourth factor.
A lot of people talk about at the end of the road, on your deathbed, the biggest regret is, I wish I spent more time with family.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet the second one, maybe they don't vocalize, is I wish I had better sex.
Yes, of course it is. People give up on it because they just don't know what to do because they can't get to the information like this. Podcasting has really been a game changer for people. We now are having straight talk. And a lot of times people say to me, God, you're so comfortable talking about this. Like how did you get to be so comfortable? It's like, I practiced. I just started. I used to have a lump in my throat 20 years ago when I first got into this and started teaching people about it. I still felt the shame or the embarrassment about it, the repression of the world that we grow up in, but I got over it.
Clearly.
Yes.
She is confident and in her element here, for damn sure. I know we need to get you rolling here.
Yes.
You got to go.
I do want to tell you about your penis pump that I brought you.
Oh, yes. Okay, so let's get there. But I have one other question before my last question. You mentioned, in kind of this non-orgasmic marriage, this relationship for 12 years, but you were still having sex.
Yeah, mercy sex.
Mercy sex. Is there any danger, or maybe someone's in that spot of, I don't want it, but I know my partner does, and maybe I've heard that if I just put in the reps, I'll get there, or it'll just be enough to like save my relationship, or maybe I'm worried about them stepping out of me if I don't, put out, if I don't have sex with them.
Right.
Is there any danger in that, or should it just be, if you're not in your body, if you're not confident, if you're not ready to do that, is it better for your relationship, for your sex life, to stop until you get to that point? Or just going through the motions, is that going to get you anywhere?
I would not recommend doing mercy sex. I think that every time you have sex where you're not ecstatically pleased, then you put another brick in the wall of your future sexless marriage. It erodes your connection to your partner. You get disgruntled with them. You feel used. It's not fun for you. And they know it and they don't like it either. So now that you've heard this show, if you're in that bucket, you go, oh, okay, so we just need to learn how to do it. All right, we got to get vulnerable, but it's worth it. That girl's having some really good sex. I want to have that. And she's telling me I can just learn how. Okay, let's do it. So I would say that's why you have things like the sex life bucket list. I wanted to show you this too. This is really interesting. One of the biggest issues that couples have is that he orgasms from intercourse easily and she does not. And I like to combine this particular toy. This is called the Luxus, and this is 2 components. It's a little vibrator that goes on her mons above her clitoris and down onto her clitoris. And I'll show you the 2 ways to affix it. And then you put this on your penis. It's a magnet, and this has a proximity sensor in it, so that when you're having intercourse, she's wearing this. This is stimulating her clitoris hands-free. And as you're thrusting in and out of her, it speeds up the vibrator as you get closer, and then it pulls it away as you go further out. And here, do it together like that. Hold them, and you'll see how it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I love about, so there's 2 ways you can get these straps, which I really like. These are these little, like it's like a little harness you can wear, and that's what I like to wear. But there's also these little pads that come with it. And these little pads, you take one of these off and you stick it on there and it'll stick on your skin.
You can wear it or just like place it on.
You can wear it or you can use the little harness. I like both. And
what do they come up with next?
And it's a beyond category situation right here. This is my favorite new toy. And what I love about it is
now it's going wild here if you just keep them together.
Yeah.
Can you guys get we get some
ASMR very quiet.
Going wow. Okay.
It's very quiet. And I love this. Now, I want to tell your folks that all the stuff I talked about is at drivedesire.com. All these things, anything I showed, I promise I have it there because I keep it all in one place.
Even this guy, which she brought.
Yes.
For yours truly. So walk us through this before I have my final question for you.
Okay, good. So the penis pump, the vacuum erection device. Once you hit 40, I think it's very, very important to start using a vacuum erection device at least once a week. I think once a week is a good amount of time for you if you're still nice and firm, no problem getting hard. But as you age and as you know how your grandma and grandpa are tinier than you are and they used to be your size or close to it? Well, we atrophy, we shrink, and your penis shrinks and her vulva shrinks. And so what you do is, this is a 2-part system. This is called the Whopper. I named it. It's a penis pump that's FDA Class 2 certified device. Urologists give this to people in their office to keep their penile volume
Really, this is the same
shrinking.
tool someone can get from their urologist?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
This is an FDA medical device. This is this quality. This is called the AutoGrow. It's an electric pump head. It's a dual cylinder system called the Whopper. And it has this little constriction ring that you can pull off to trap blood in. So what you do basically to pump, when you pump your penis, when you use a vacuum erection device, a VED, you put your penis in the cylinder and you turn on the vacuum and it pulls the air out of the cylinder and then it pulls more blood into your penis. So what it's doing is it's increasing your blood carrying capacity basically of your penis. It's pumping more blood. You're getting a big pump.
Which is how we get bigger, firmer, better, longer erections. It all comes down to blood flow.
It does.
In my opinion, it even comes down even more to nitric oxide.
And if you don't have the nitric oxide to get the blood flow in, you're not doing that either.
One needs the other and the other needs the one.
They work together. They're perfect pair. The way that you can pump for both length and girth. The rule of thumb is that if you're a relatively healthy man, you can get about 20 to 25% overall increase in penile volume in 10 months to a year of regular pumping. If you're pumping for enlargement, not just atrophy, and a lot of guys pump for enlargement. Some pump for atrophy, reversing atrophy, and then they're like, I love pumping. This is great. My dick's getting bigger. I'm going to keep going. And some are like, I just want to make my dick bigger. My dick is hard, but I want to make it bigger. And that's what's nice about these systems. So this is the girth cylinder. You put just your penis in it. This is the length cylinder. And essentially you put your testicles and your penis. It goes all your junk. The whole thing. Your junk all goes in here. Flaccid in this one, erect in this one. And it's 10 minutes. So you do a pump for 10 minutes, hold the blood in there, and then release it. And then you can do a pump for 10 minutes with this one, And if you want extra girth, you can do a second pump with the cylinder, the smaller cylinder. So, and you can do it in any order. Most people start with this. They do the length first, then they do 2 girth pumps. That's the typical protocol. The protocol is at pumpingguide.com. I'm in my 3rd edition of the book. I've helped almost 20,000 men increase their penile volume.
All right.
So they call me the queen of peen.
That's not nothing. That's very impressive.
Well,
wow.
I think it's really important to have a banging boner, to have a manaconda, to have a nice hard penis. And I mean, it's central to your pleasure. So why wouldn't, and a lot of guys are like, oh, I don't know if I could pump my penis in front of my wife. Or I'm like, it's healthcare. It's self-care down there. It's my little hashtag, self-care down there. And for the wife, you give her this nice vagina device, and it has red light, warmth, and vibration.
Oh, wow.
So photobiomodulation.
Yeah. I've talked a lot about red light therapy, photobiomodulation therapy.
You can put it in your vagina.
If you don't think this is real, I mean, my son had to go to the NICU and they used photobiomodulation therapy to clear all of his jaundice out. So it's in hospitals. We use it for healthcare.
Yes.
Bring it down there.
Yes.
This is very bright, by the way. Wow, that's a strong light. Yeah,
it is a strong light, and it's what's nice about it is that it gives you it helps. It basically does mitochondrial stimulation of the vaginal mucosal cellular system, and so what it's doing is it's helping thicken up the tissue. That way, it can hold more of the blood plasma that seeps through to lubricate you, so you can stay juicier. And then it also stimulates glycogen production, and glycogen is the sugar that the good microbiota eat in your vaginal microbiome. So it keeps your biome really healthy. It also helps with pelvic musculature because it has some Kegel toning to it.
Oh, wow.
And it has warmth, which recollagenates the tissue.
Oh, wow.
So it reverses all that vaginal laxity and incontinence and juiciness and all that stuff. But this only works for the inside. And the problem is that our labia start to atrophy and our clitoris atrophies. And so for that, I like Gaines wave treatments. And Gaines wave is acoustic wave applied to the genital structures. It stimulates new tissue growth, similar to pumping, but more like an accelerator even.
Oh, wow.
It stimulates new tissue growth and it helps reconstitute the clitoral structures, all those things I showed you. It helps reconstitute all of that so you come as well as you did. I come better than I did when I was in my 20s and 30s. My orgasms I have so many more kinds of them. I'm juicier than I've ever been. I'm 64 this month and I'm having incredible sex because this is what I do.
So this has been incredible.
Good. I had
like
a good time too.
I have so many other offshoot ideas and master classes that we could go down. But I have to bring it home.
I know.
I want to ask you my final question.
I'm
so
ready.
this is such a unique one for my guest today.
Okay.
So every time I bring a guest on here, it's meant to help me and my audience learn a unique area or come back to a familiar area of our well-being. So we can, put it back in place or practice something new to move us forward in life. I want to know your interpretation of those 2 words, ever forward. Through your lens and what you do and how you do it, how do you live a life ever forward? What does that mean to you?
I don't look back much. I'd like to stay in the present and think about the future and where I'm going. So that's part of ever forward for me. And the other is that I'm a lifelong learner and I just love to keep getting better and better. I'm definitely a biohacker and a hacker in every part of my life. I'm always trying to live a bigger, better, kinder, more love-filled life.
Never a right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
I always appreciate every interpretation, so thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Well, everything you talked about is going to be in the video description box, the show notes. This was so much fun. And I got to hide all this stuff when my mom comes in. So we got to get you to lunch. So
Let's
Susan,
do it.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Chase.